don't have anything against minimalistic films, but it's just a surprise what Gus Van Sant is able to do with his limitations. Like Gus Van Sant, he easily could have made this movie he could have made this movie with the easy budget of millions and millions of dollars, but didn't feel like it. Wanted to make it as realistic and as almost documentary like as possible. So anyone that's not familiar with Elephant, it is it's inspired by the 1999 Columbine shooting. It's not entirely based on it. Well, this is more like the fictionalized version of it. So, yeah, if you want to see a movie fully about the Columbine shooting, yeah, the elephant's not gonna satisfy you. But if you want something that isn't kind of like an ode to it, I guess you could say, an ode to the victims, a bit of an understanding of what was happening, then yeah, Elephant's going to be a good watch for you. So, and I was not familiar with Columbine shooting. There were these two high schoolers who, in this Colorado town that ended up seizing control of their high school, shot a bunch of people, turned the guns on themselves, and it really took a look at gun control in America, and really about teenagers in general, like what can happen to teenagers to make them tick, and why would a teenager do such a thing, and how could they be able to gain access to such guns? In Elephant, it doesn't provide any sort of easy answer. In fact, it doesn't. All Elephant does, in terms of like why do they do so, is they just say, think about this, think about this, think about that. We're not going to give you any answers. Just think for a bit. And the only reason Gus Van Sant does that is because real, actual, full-blown answers, they don't exist. Let's just face it, full-blown answers to shooters do not exist. It takes us into this high school in the small town, and we get to know a little bit about some of these high schoolers. And we don't get great character development, and that's okay. What Gus Van Sant wants to do with this film in terms of their characters is he really wants to make these teenagers as ordinary as can be. So even though we get a little bit of development with who some of these characters are, it's mostly just like to remind us, does this person remind you of someone you went to high school with, or someone you're currently going to high school with? That's ultimately what I think he was trying to do with by not really fully fleshing out some of these characters, so that when the actual siege happens, our hearts go out to them in more ways than one. The movie also has a very, very strange directing style to it. The way that the camera glides and moves, and the way that some different parts in the shots are in focus and out of focus. Like there's a few bits where a character would be just roaming the halls, and we get the back of their heads in focus, and they turn around and we get to see that their face are in focus, but for a long period of time it's just them that's in focus and everything else is just blurry. And like even when like it's just their back of their heads that are in focus, everything else is super duper blurry. It's like that's odd. But you know, I don't want to complain too much about Gus Van Sant's directing because it was strange, but it wasn't like it wasn't terrible, which is a good thing. The only thing I didn't like about Elephant was the ending. I thought that the ending was too sudden, too ambiguous, and because it tackles such a big case, such a big issue, that there really should have been more closure to everything. I'm not saying that the movie needed to end up with like anything super duper bloody and over the top, but I'm not a fan of these kinds of endings. But as long as there was some sort of closure, there would have been an overall better film. But the way that stands right now, I did like Elephant, so I'm gonna give it 3 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.